the child that painted this is 59 now and starting to realize her dreams. When I look at this painting, first of all, I can't believe I still have it. I don't remember how old I was, but this is one of my childhood paintings from probably, I don't know, 2nd to 4th grade, somewhere around there. And yeah, it brings me a lot of joy because even though my mom discouraged me from pursuing a career in art, she put me in art lessons after school. And so she worked very hard to make sure I was enjoying my school and my life, and I appreciated that. You know, she couldn't control the trauma that I had been through, or, you know, the lack of confidence that I had, but she did her best to make sure that I got to paint and create art. And so the child that painted this is 59 now and starting to realize her dreams. You know, I always wanted to be an artist, and for 30 years I was a shadow artist. I didn't do art for a profession. I wanted to, but I was scared and I was discouraged from that. And so at 56, you know, I decided it was time, and I quit working online. I spent 30 years working online, and so I made the decision that I couldn't do it anymore, and I had to get out of it. And, you know, it's not that we're independently wealthy or that we had a retirement fund. You know, I always worked for small businesses or myself, and, you know, there is no retirement fund. And I don't really care about that anyways, but what I'm trying to say is we live in a more minimal way now, which allows, you know, life to be less expensive, and it allows me to be able to focus on creating for the first time in my life. And so I was able to build out this bus studio with wood off of this property and reclaimed items, and people, you know, have shared their supplies with me, and I was able to kind of gather the supplies that I've had that I've never used. And so I guess the point of this video is really just to say you're never too old to change your life, and you're never too old to try something new that you've always wanted to do, whether that was painting or creating art of some kind, or being a musician, or, you know, learning how to garden, play music, of course. But all of these things are dreams a lot of people have, and they never get realized. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Nat, and this is Nat Creates, and every week I work here in my art bus studio creating art for the process of creating art, for the joy that it brings me, and I'm not attached to the outcome. I want to just make things and try things and play like a child, you know, like this kid did. And I think this kid was probably a little too intense here, trying to make sure that these waves look like the water looked like water, the waves look like waves, you know, the sun looked like a sun. And I felt like this was conditioning for me as a child, because things should look like they are. You know, it's only been in the past couple of years where I've gotten to explore abstracts and just, you know, making marks and not, you know, judging myself. Like just doing it for the therapy of it, doing it for the feel-good vibes. You know, so today we're gonna play. If you're new here, one of the things that I share with here on my video is pretty much the, unedited. I do edit some stuff out where I feel like if it's repetitive, or maybe the lighting or the sound wasn't good, but I really try to not edit much. Right now I'm getting the sand off my work area because I brought in some nature for a different video. Let's see, I want to get my mixed media book. And what I'm going to do today is just kind of create some collage paper. So this is mixed media paper. I'm actually going to tear it out of this notebook because I want to use it for collages. But I'm going to play with ink. I'm going to play with some stamps. I'm going to play with some lettering. And the whole idea there is that I'm just going to play. I'm not going to worry too much about the outcome. And I think if you want to try anything for the first time at any age, the sooner that you can separate yourself from the outcome and just start doing it, start doing the thing. Practice. Don't hold it too dear. And just create. These little stamps, I've only made 3 to 5 little stamps out of linoleum, and they are not perfect by any means. And I know the more that I carve, the better they will be. That time isn't right now. So I've been reading The Artist Way, and one of the exercises they have in there is called morning pages. And the whole idea with morning pages is that you, first thing in the morning, before you reach for your phone, you keep a pen and a notebook beside your bed, and you reach for your notebook. And you brain dump your subconscious. You just write everything that comes in your head. And if you get stuck and you don't know what to write, you say, I don't know what to write, until you figure out something or something pops in your head. It's not meant to be an effort. It's meant to be easy, and it just comes out. And I am, for the first time in my 2 years of trying to read The Artist's Way, I am starting morning pages consistently, going on about a month now. And the idea is to do 3 pages of this before you do anything else. And one thing is that it kind of breaks you of scrolling first thing in the morning. And the other thing I've noticed is it really does help me to get all these thoughts that clutter up my mind, which kind of block my creativity, and I can just get all the words out and they don't have to make sense, and I can't even read them usually. And so since I couldn't read them, one of the practices I've been doing lately is writing all 3 pages on one page. And so I will write it all, and then maybe I'll turn it upside down and write it all again. On this one, I just kept going over it and over it and over it. So that is 3 pages of brain dumping. But this morning after I did it, I was like, you know what? That is just cool. It looks cool to me. It looks very artistic. And I think it would be really fun to have it be part of collages. And so I'm going to start using my morning pages as part of my collage. So that's what we're going to do. If you've read The Artist Way, I'd love to hear about that. I have had a hard time getting it started past the first initial part of, doing the morning pages and taking yourself on artist dates. And so I really want to kind of break through to the other side of it and get to where I do have a breakthrough. So I just got this tissue paper out, and look at that. There is a spider nest. So we are going to put this outside. Okay, we're just going to let you go. All right, we'll figure that out later. I was about to risk the spider coming in or staying in, and we don't want that. So I'd love to know your thoughts. What do you think about, pursuing something that you've always dreamed of pursuing later in life? I think 59 kind of hit me hard. I didn't expect it because I don't really associate with an age, so to speak. But I think because it's the year before 60, it really just kind of like was, wow, I'm going to be 60. And for the first time ever, I felt like time is short. And while that might be true, there might be 30 more years there. There might be 40 more years there. There might not. And because we don't know, how much time we have, it makes sense that we spend it, doing something we enjoy. And even if we still have to do things we don't enjoy, prioritizing working with our hands, prioritizing creating, and whatever that looks like for you. I think everyone's creative. It might not be drawing or painting, it might be gardening or photography or music. It might be making things with wood. It might be welding. Who knows what it is. But if you've ignored it your whole life and you're older like me, isn't it about time you did it? I think that I would say yes, it is about time. So I have these different metallic paints here, and I'm kind of leaning towards the more copper thing, if it's still functional. Let's see. Might be all dried up. I think it might be okay. So what I'm going to do there is get my little cutting board palette. And put a little of that color on here. Ooh. And then use a brayer I was thinking of doing was kind of making some lines on here. And again, I don't really know how this is going to work. I am in the mode of playing with it and seeing. It's kind of cool, I like it. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. My brayer had a little black on it, so it kind of did some smudgies. That's okay. I don't really care. I have a little stamp I made. I think it's one of the first stamps I made. It's a curled up cat. And I'm going to put this on this pad and put it on here somewhere. Paint a little bit of this color on it. Okay. It's a little hard to see, but I know it's there. And that's really what you're doing, is you're just playing and you're having fun and you're not judging the outcome, because who cares? It's for you. It's for the enjoyment of it. And isn't it about damn time we did something that we enjoy?